Can I show you something I found today?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, so I picked this up today for like 50 cents.
Oh, yes.
1996.
He was just talking about
inch.
that.
Yes, 48 inch.
Wow, now.
I love scotch. It goes down to my belt. Oh. I am drinking a non-IPA. Ooh, that looks delicious. Look at that. No, I was talking about yours.
Oh.
This also looks delicious.
Yours doesn't look too bad either.
Ooh. Oh, if that's not a perfect pour.
That is pretty good.
Hey, welcome to the Pints and Profits Show, friends.
Welcome, guys.
Grab a beer. I'll give you a couple of seconds. And if you're here for craft beer, stay. If you're here for the reselling, you can just move ahead and about the halfway point. And we have a great guest coming up. And she's going to blow you away with some awesome finds and stories. And we have a great show set up, a lot of great questions and topics. We are going to touch on the Poshmark craziness. I know Scott has a lot to say about that.
Yep, sure do.
But we are two resellers and craft beer enthusiasts who put together two of these passions to create this show. We will talk about craft beer, our favorite beers, our adventures in craft beer, the community, and we will also talk about our businesses that revolve around reselling on multiple platforms. I am Dennis, the Free King Flipper. I sell everything other than clothing, and my co-host here.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey guys, Sky here. FisherFlips. eBay, Poshmark, tiny bit of Depop. And I wanted to say, we thought about this podcast about 2 to 3 years ago, maybe. We were just sitting there shooting shit, and we're like, dude, we have a great idea for a podcast. We worked on it. We thought of the concept, thought about the idea, how we could bring it together. And so if you guys are watching for the first time, I've known Dennis for the past 4 years. I met him on Instagram. And we're just talking back and forth. He lives in Cape Cod. I vacationed on the Cape, and we just got talking. I was out there on vacation. We met up, and then we hit it off. So yeah, so here we are, guys, just doing what we love doing and bringing it to you guys.
So we're going to do a giveaway. We promised you guys that we would be giving away some stuff from our Cape Cod Brewfest 2024, and we have some awesome stuff to give away at pint glasses, stickers. There might be some keychains in there,
keychains, koozies. And guys, leave comments. We're going to be giving stuff. We have a lot of giveaways, so just leave a comment. We want to get some stuff out to the beer guys. Leave a comment, and we'll send it to you. That's it. We have a lot of stuff.
Follow us on YouTube. Leave a comment, thumbs up if you like it. Yep. We will enter you in a raffle. I've got some from this past week in the tinfoil hat.
Ooh, all right.
And I'm not even going to look. I'm going to
pull out a good name. We've had about 56 new followers come on board. Right. So who we got?
If I can read my writing here. Roman Adventure 78.
All right, cool.
I'm not lying. Roman Adventures 78. You have won one of our pint glass sticker craft beer awesomeness, and we'll get that out to you. I will reach out to him and see if we can get his address, and then we will send it out to you. Yeah. Cheers. Congratulations.
All right, Roman, good job.
Well, I am drinking 2 beers tonight from a beautiful little brewery down in Falmouth, Massachusetts called Aquatic.
Oh, that is a beautiful.
And I think you had this one at the Brewfest, didn't you?
I've had at the Brewfest, and I've had that on my own. I think I have the stickers right there.
Yes. So I went
Love
in
it.
to drop off my my reselling packages at the post office, and my postmaster, whom I trade beers with, it's
Nice.
crazy. Right over the counter, there's people in line. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Dennis, like, got a couple of beers for you," and just like looking around. He goes to this brewery pretty often. Rob, thank you, and I will get you back. So this brewery is up and coming. I would say underrated.
Definitely,
I've
definitely
had
underrated. Yeah.
I've had a bunch of their stuff, and I think you've had a couple too.
Mhm.
I've had this Aranax, that's their IPA. They do a bunch of IPAs, a bunch of stouts, but Tawaki, I think they absolutely nailed this pale ale.
Yeah.
6.2%. It is tremendous. A lot of these I've never had, and I need to get down there a little bit more often. I want to try their lagers. Oh yeah, they do a fest beer too. So look at this one, Scooby Doo, a hard kombucha. Come on, wow.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
I
Yeah.
would be willing to try any of these. This Woods Hole Stout, the one that I'm drinking now, they actually have it on nitro.
Oh
Have you ever had a beer on nitro, Scott?
no. Explain what nitro is.
So normally CO2
Mhm.
is what's going to be powering the drafts. Instead of CO2, they use a different gas, and it's nitrogen
Nit-
oxide, right?
nit-
Nitro.
Something like that. Yeah.
And it is almost like a creamy, like a foamy, velvety, maybe.
Mhm.
And it can transform a beer like this into something completely different mouthfeel. It's awesome. So
So
I got to try that.
good.
This is really good. 5.3%, a little bit of coffee in there, some dark chocolate at the finish. Definitely for like a nice cold winter's night, I could definitely get into a couple of these. And what do you got over there?
So I'm drinking Amherst Brewing. We talked about this before. I think they do a collab with Hanger Pub. So they're based out of Amherst, Mass. I couldn't pull up the graphics, so maybe you can while I'm talking. So this is their Jess IPA. It's a Citra Mosaic Simcoe. That's a 7.3. They don't have this around me in New York. I was out in Western Mass today and went to a local package store, and they had a bunch of Amherst Brewing. And I know we've talked about this before
There you
on our show.
Yep.
And I know my son Matt always they have these by where he lives, so decided to get a 4-pack of that. So there's a Jess up in the left hand corner.
Yep, there she is.
And I've noticed like they do a lot of their IPAs like with names. So I'm not sure where they come up with their names. But like there's Brittany, there's Jess, there's Katie, there's Lauren.
Wow.
So yeah.
Oh my God. Look at that one right here.
Oh, that looks good. Toasting of coconut cream.
Wild.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. So it's nice to like adventure out to different locations where I don't live and try what's out there, because I will never get this in Albany, never.
Mhm.
And it's good. It's everything I love. The Citra Mosaic, the Simcoe, that fruit forward taste. It's a 7.3, but
Ooh.
again, it doesn't. It tastes like a 6.5. Like it's not real strong.
Color's
Like,
nice.
yeah, nice color. So
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
Wow. Cheers. Cheers to
Mhm.
Amherst. And definitely if you're on the Cape, go down and try out Aquatic. You know, it's my pint glass.
True North.
That is the company. I was a beer sales manager for Cape Cod and the islands.
Yeah, so my beer glass is so this is a local. It's called City Squire. It's a local like a pub near me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a glass.
You have any beer topics before we invite the guest on and switch over to reselling?
No, not really. I know it's Oktoberfest, so guys, check your local vicinity where you guys live. Oktoberfest is running wild. I know here locally in New York, there's got to be at least 8 festivals going on this weekend. And yeah, go check them out, guys. Go visit your local breweries, support them, and live it up. It's Oktoberfest.
Yeah, there's the one down the street that I need to get to. They do games and they do the throwing of like half barrels,
Oh,
and
nice.
they do the whole thing,
Yeah.
all the food,
Yeah, so
the bands.
I'll be checking some out. Not this weekend, but man, there's festivals going on the entire next 3 weeks, so I'll be definitely checking some out soon.
All right. I do have a question, and it's called you're at a brewery and it's a what would you do?
Okay.
And it's 3 parts. 3 parts, okay?
Okay.
I asked this question because 3 of these things have happened to me before. You are at a brewery, could be any brewery, and you get served a beer that's either warm,
Oh,
it's supposed to
okay.
be cold, or it's flat, or it's just off. You've had it before and it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
tastes off. What would you do?
Okay. Now, is it a place that I go to on a regular, or is it like me just visiting a spot for the very first time?
You know what the beer is supposed to taste like.
Okay. Me personally, I would say something to the bartender, or the person pouring the from the taps. I'd be like, hey, listen, I get XYZ beer all the time. It tastes a little funny. Can I have another one? Maybe it's old, expired. So I have
Okay.
no problem saying something. I mean, they're expensive. I want it to taste right.
Exactly right. And you could be notifying them that there's something wrong with the keg, the lines are dirty, something is off.
Yeah.
And you're going to save them aggravation. You might even save them a first timer there trying it, saying, "This sucks. I'm never coming back."
Yeah. Yeah.
Part 2, you get poured a beer and it's a short pour. So they pour you and then they hand you this right here.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't say anything. I mean, if it's if you're, because most of the breweries are pouring a 12-ounce glass. If it's half, I may say something, but if it's a little tiny short pour, I'm not going to say anything.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think I would.
definitely saying something.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
I was in the industry and we were taught to pour these things perfect. And again, first impressions. I did this at one of the bigger breweries on the East Coast, and it was a short pour. And I'm like, "Hey, do you mind topping that off a little bit?" And she looked down. Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
Went back, topped it off. Like it was like $9 for a pint. Like what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's just me. Like, that's my personality. I would just kind of let it fly. If I had gone up there maybe a second time and it's the same short pour, maybe I would call them out.
Yeah,
But just not.
it's
Yeah, I don't think I would.
it's supposed to be poured a certain way. So,
Yeah.
lastly, you are, and this happened to me before. You're going to take home or take out beer, and you go there and you say, "I want this, this, and this," to put in the thing that, and then you're on your way, only to get home and realize one of the 4-packs is not what you ordered.
Oh.
This has happened to me.
See, me, when I do can pickups, I check them they hand them to me. I look them over personally, each one. It's never happened to me personally, but I always double check. I got 3 of those, 4 of those, 4 of those. Like, I would double check.
All right.
So
I did not double check. I brought it back and they said, yeah, we can't take beer back, but you keep that and we'll get you what you wanted, what you ordered.
Okay.
I had the slip and I'm like, I didn't order this.
yeah, cool.
Win-win. So,
Yeah.
Laura, we see you there. We're going to bring you on in 2 seconds.
Yeah, because I have a question. I also have one question for you, as well. Once this is over.
Yeah, shoot. That's it. That's all I had.
All right.
That
So
was
I went to my local beverage center, package store, whatever you call them, and they had. So I live in New York, and they had Trillium, okay, in house, which I never see, but it was $37 for a 4-pack. What is the most you would pay for a 4-pack? Because I'm not spending $37 for a 4-pack.
No, and that doesn't seem legit. That seems like
Well,
someone.
it's a little bit of inflation going on, but what's your cutoff?
I have spent up to $25 for 4 beers.
Okay.
And it better be a special release, a biannual release, a crazy collaboration, something like that. I'll pay up.
I agree.
Normally, I'm paying $17 to $19,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, my average around here is, set 15 to 18.
Yeah.
I did spend 22 on the other half,
They're
but only
expensive.
because it was just released in my beverage center. And I'm like, I have to have it. So what's a few bucks?
Single cut is also extremely expensive in a
Yeah.
package store or a liquor store. It's I don't know why. There's an industry standard, $20. That's the average for double
20
IPA.
bucks. If it
$20.
comes up and it's $17,
yeah,
it's a bonus. So yeah, we're on the same page.
even Julius is like $16 for 4.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's amazing. Guys, that's what we have for craft beer. We're gonna switch gears here.
Yeah,
and we're going to move on to a packed show talking about reselling. We're going to talk about that crazy Poshmark change and how they're doing things. I don't know. I sell very little on Poshmark, but Scott, that's his bag. I mean, he's the clothing guy. That's why we get along so well, because we're not really in competition. But before we do that, I would love to bring on our special guest. This is Laura, the Driftless Thrifter. And Laura, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys.
How are you? Welcome.
Good. Scott and I have been friends for a while.
Yeah,
we've known
each other on Instagram for a while, a couple of years.
Oh, gosh, since I started.
Yeah,
oh, wow. For sure.
Finally, nice to meet you in person.
Yeah, right.
Laura, why don't you tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you like to sell, what platforms?
Okay, well, I'm Laura. I live in Wisconsin. I am like 90%, probably 95% eBay seller. I do a little bit of Etsy and Amazon from time to time, but I'm really focused on eBay. I find it really hard to do multiple platforms. So I kind of stick to what I know, and I've been doing it. I started part-time in 2020, and I went full-time in 2022. So, yeah.
And Dennis, Laura is the queen of vintage military.
Yes. Okay, because of where I live. Yeah. Because of where I live. So when I first started, I started watching Hustle at Home Mom, who sells mostly high-end clothing. And I really liked what she did. I liked how she ran her business, but I couldn't find any of the things that she was finding. And so I kind of fumbled a little bit, and then I found the Nurse Flipper. I ended up entering a contest and won it. And the contest was you got to be like her, like she kind of took you under her wing and taught you everything she knew. So that was my second thing. And she did more hard goods. So that was helpful to me. And then I don't think it's any surprise to anybody who knows me. After that, I found Thrifty Yeti. And because he lives in a similar area as me, he's about 6 hours from me, just the stuff he was finding and then how he ran his business, where he does higher priced item versus a lot of inventory like clothing sellers do. Clothing sellers are, they'll have a lot listed and they're trying to sell 20 items a day. He's trying to do more expensive items and only making, 1 to 5 sales a day. So I just liked his business model. I liked what he was finding. I was able to find the stuff that he found, and he kind of took me under his wing and just taught me everything he knew. And, so I like to sell military because I live near a military base. I find a lot of it. And my ex-husband was a military collector. So I had been going to gun shows for decades, just bored out of my mind, walking around, looking at all the stuff. So I knew, I kind of already knew like how to spot World War II stuff versus Vietnam stuff. And just because of my experience with that, it just kind of sticks out to me. The old stuff really sticks out to me. Yeah. And then when I realized I could start selling that online, I was like, oh, okay. So, that's one of my tips I always tell people: sell what you know. Like I just kind of happened into the military thing. And once I realized there was some really good flips in the military, genre, I was like, oh my gosh, like nobody else is doing this. I need to do this. You know, obviously there are a lot more people doing it, but nobody I knew was doing this. So
yeah, because Dennis, I'll always message Laura like, hey, I found these military bags.
yeah,
What the hell are they?
yeah.
I don't know that niche, and it's like she told me exactly what. I have a bunch of these bags, and like she knew exactly what they were. Boom, boom. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
So,
I see a bot. I mean, I look at a ton, and that's the thing. When people contact me, I'm like, you know, don't give up on the military. It does all look the same to you at first, and you will see a ton of it. You just got to look for those little gems hidden with the stuff that's not valuable, because they made it in the millions. There's millions and millions of military items out there.
Right.
So yeah.
I mean, not just U.S. stuff. There's, you know, every country in the world has
mostly find Swedish. There's a ton of Swedish military surplus in this country. And I'll get that a lot too. People will message me pictures and like, hey, I can't quite identify this. And I just, right away, I can tell, okay, that's Swedish. If it doesn't say U.S. military somewhere on there, it's almost always Swedish. So, but it looks very similar to ours. Why is there Swedish surplus here? Yeah. Boy, I don't know. That would be like a real military expert would be able to tell you that. But like if you go to
did we buy it and bring it in?
Farm and fleets. That's just something I've known for years. So there's farm and fleets and fleet farms in our area, and they have some of them have like these military surplus sections, and it is tons of military surplus from Sweden. And I don't know why. Somebody out there I'm sure does. Or we could Google it.
Well,
I don't know why. Yeah.
I wish I knew that this was your bag, because I picked something up not too long ago. I think I might have it right here. This is not even scripted,
you're gonna put me on the spot.
I'm gonna put you right on the spot.
We're gonna find out how much of an expert I'm not at this point.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I bought this.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So there should be a marking at the hull, like
this is what threw me off. This marking threw me off. I was looking for a World War II bayonet, and it was supposed to be, I think it was going to go on a Mauser.
Yep, it looks like a Mauser bayonet to me too.
It looks just like it, right? And that's what I thought. Until I saw, I don't know how good
I can't see it. What's it say?
It is not English.
Oh.
It's got like a whole bunch of little circles and designs. It almost looks like Indian or Middle East, or
is it Chinese?
Maybe even Chinese or Vietnamese, or it's
I'm wondering if that's not. Oh, does it have a? Okay, can I see the?
Oh, right there. It's focused.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
It's just all like squiggly lines and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So my ex-husband wouldn't totally know what it is, I'm sure. But what you need to do then is just go on a military message board, like a Facebook, and just post a picture of it, and there'll be a gazillion people who'll be able to tell you exactly what it is. And Google Lens is sometimes helpful.
There's more. It's the same marking.
That's where it hooks into the.
It looks like the @ symbol. That's what it looks like.
Really?
The @ symbol, and it doesn't spell anything in English. I don't even know which way it goes.
Interesting.
It's so weird.
With something like that, I would start with Google Lens, and if Google Lens didn't narrow it down for me, then I would move on to a military message board. And I don't have a specific one in mind. I just always search and post pictures. Those guys are like so knowledgeable. I don't find a lot of bayonets. I really don't.
This was at a yard sale, because I have a habit of asking $5. $5.
$5. Well, you're going to do fine. It's worth at least $50, at least minimum. Yeah.
Wooden.
Nice.
Got the wooden handle, and then this is where it would go onto the bayonet.
And they didn't know what it was off of.
No. So very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I didn't know. I'm gonna hit you up with all of my military stuff, because my father was.
You just opened up a can of worms there.
And I'll tell you that I don't know.
Scott comes from a military family. My grandfather was in World War II. He brought back a ton of stuff, and it's always been in kind of like my interests. I just never
Mhm.
wanted to sell any of it because it's all kind of family stuff.
Sure. Yeah, the bayonets. If I could only sell one thing, it would be bayonets, magazines, and men's boots. Like, if I could only sell and if I could just do one of those three things,
Yeah.
I would do one of those three things all day long because all three of those sell super fast. They're easy to ship. They're easy to list. They're great. You will never ever lose money on a $5 bayonet.
Nice.
Cool.
You just can't.
I'm probably not going to sell it. It's probably going into my collection.
Yeah, you guys. I don't know. I would. You probably don't even have a gun that it goes to.
That brings up a great segue. Okay.
All right.
We're gonna play a game.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Called KST. Kind of like that other game, the murder one, the marry, that one.
Okay.
It's a little R-rated. You can look that up later.
All right.
This is called KST. Okay. Keep, sell, or trash. Keep, sell, trash. Those are your three options.
Okay.
KST. Keep, sell, trash. Okay. Number one. This is a valuable vintage concert shirt of your favorite band. Scott, you want to go?
Well, we're gonna do a list of them first and then talk about it, or you want to do individually?
Individual, we'll go right around the horn.
So one by one. I would keep that.
Really valuable.
Yep. A valuable concert vintage tee that is one of my favorite bands. I think I'm gonna keep that for myself. Even though there might be value, I'll keep it for a little while and then maybe sell it down the road.
No. That's not.
Oh no,
the game is keep, sell.
Okay,
trash.
I'm keeping it.
All right, Laura, same question.
Sell it. It's gone.
Yeah.
I'll buy a remake. I'll buy the modern one that's not worth as much. It's gone.
Look, I'll go to Old Navy and I'll buy the exact same shirt. What do you think?
Exactly.
Same thing. $10.
Yep, it's gone.
Versus what? These shirts are what? $200, $300, $400, $500 for a vintage concert shirt?
That would buy a lot of shirts at Old Navy.
Give me the money. Show me the money.
Same.
How about a rare video game, but you don't have the system that you need to play it? It's a rare, valuable video game, but you don't even have the system. What are you doing, Scott?
I'm selling it.
Good.
Now, I'm going to sell it because, one, you can't test it. And two, I don't give a shit about video games, and I don't want it.
All right. Laura?
I 100% agree with Scott. It's gone.
No doubt.
The only reason why I would keep anything like that is if I thought it was going to go up in value. Like I might vault it for a while, but that's a gamble.
I just sold a DS game, the little DS, the portable Nintendo system. And I was at a yard sale and they had a whole bunch of $1 video games. And one of them was one of the Pokemon games. Oh. And the cartridge is like this big. It's a small little cartridge. Mm-hmm. And I knew they were valuable. And she had two different ones. There's like gold, platinum, green. There's like all these colors. Threw them in the bag for $1 each. One of them sold for $128. And the other one sold for $150.
Oh my gosh.
If I had the little DS, I still would have sold those. But it brings me back to what you just said. What if there was like a another movie coming out, a Pokemon movie or something?
Yeah, you can't see the future, right? It's a gamble because look at what's that system? The Nintendo Cube, the GameCube. Mm-hmm. That goes up and down. Like I think it's like on a down right now. Like that seems like a year ago I could get way more for them. So sometimes holding on to the stuff doesn't pay off. So
right. I did not.
It might just be having a moment because all these kids that played that as a child are collecting them now. Yes. That might eventually stop. So
yeah, it goes in cycles. Yeah. I know COVID, like every game was worth.
God, remember the Nintendo bundles? The Nintendo bundles? Oh my gosh, $200 for a Nintendo system?
What?
That's insane.
Yep.
Yes.
And now
I miss those days. Yeah. Now you can't.
Now you're
back to where you can't give away. So what happens in my area, because we're so we're kind of slow to the game. So back when the Nintendos were selling for $200 a piece, I could get them for $20. Now I can't touch a Nintendo for under 60, I swear, at rummage sales, because they still think that they're up here.
Right.
But they're not. So yeah, it seems like you have like that slow realization. People realize they're selling for a lot, and then the prices go up at the rummage sales, and then they drop online, and then people at the rummage sales still want max seller for it. So,
I agree. I go to every yard sale and I ask them if they have video games, and they always say, "Yeah, you're like the third person to ask. You're the fifth person to ask." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, cameras are getting harder and harder too. Those little digital cameras.
It's one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh! 2 summers ago, I was killing it with those cameras. But
well, I was just on the Cape a few weeks ago, and me and Dennis go to a garage sale, and what does he find right away?
A camera.
A camera sealed in a box with all the.
Oh my gosh, how cute! So my friend found that.
$5 for it.
There's $10.
$10.
So which one is it? What kind?
It was a Nikon. It was already gone. It was gone within like a day.
Oh my gosh, that is. How much did you get for it?
It was just under $200, like $179, something like that.
Sealed in the box, or just?
No, it wasn't sealed. This was
okay. It was just in the box.
I thought it was sealed. It was in a box. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It had everything in it.
So it was used. Yeah.
I don't even think they used it. It was probably opened, whatever, and then they just threw it back in the thing. So.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, I love that. You know, I was out a couple of weekends ago, and there were some young girls in their 20s, early 20s, taking pictures of themselves, and they whipped out a little silver camera, and I just about died, you know, because I just thought, yep, it's finally happening in my area where I'm seeing these young kids, and those are the ones who are buying them. And she whipped out a little camera and took pictures of her friends, even though they all had their phones. They're using that little camera to take pictures.
I think we've talked about this before, Dennis, of why that value of the cameras has never dropped, because the younger generation in their 20s, maybe up to 30.
That's what they used when they were in high school. Yeah.
They never experienced using those cameras because all they know is the iPhones. So for them,
the 20-year-olds you're talking about. Yeah.
The younger 20-year-olds, they don't know what those cameras like. For them, it's like all new.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's fun for them. So
and the 30-year-olds, I feel like that was the camera that they used when they were in high school.
My daughter's 30, and that's what they used when they were kids. But now they're revisiting that, and they're getting those cameras now. Yeah,
but the 20-year-olds, you're right. It's like new technology.
It's new to them.
Yeah, that's funny. Yep.
It's like vintage for them.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like
cool. It's hip.
Yeah.
You whip one of those out, and people are like, "Oh my God, what is that thing? Oh, check it out."
So fun though. It was so fun to see those girls using it. I just got such a kick out of it. Can I show you something I found today?
Yeah,
sure.
Oh, okay. So I picked this up today for like 50 cents.
Oh, yes.
1996.
He was just talking about that.
Yes, 48 inch, 50 cents, $200 all day, right?
Oh, that's crazy. Me and Dad, we were just talking about those balls.
Oh, are you really?
Vintage 90s balls, how they sell for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And we don't know why.
And this is one of those things where, because of the area I live in, I find the vintage. So I'm always looking for vintage items, and these are the kinds of things that in my area I find probably more often than someone in a big city.
Now, why do you guys think that sells for so much? I'm asking Laura. Why do you think, Laura?
I would love to know why. Is it better plastic? I don't know.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Let's just say people like to make certain items out of the better vinyl for their bedroom activities.
Oh.
Okay. So ew.
That's what it is. That's why.
Oh my gosh.
According to Reddit. Oh. That's exactly why.
This is like the time when I put up a bunch of ladies' underwear that was like made in USA. And it just started, and I almost didn't list the 9s and the 10s because they were so big. And I was like, no girl's gonna buy these. And they sold out so fast. And I was like, who's buying these 9s and 10s? Well, come to find out, it's every single person I shipped the underwear to, no matter what size they were, was a man's name. And some of them were like requesting, please, please put in like a plain envelope. And like some of them had it shipped to like their office and PO boxes. And
So
I mean, I've sold 100 pairs of these underwears now, and every single person who bought it was, at first I thought, well, it must be their husband's account. No, it's meant. And then one of them actually reached out to me and was saying how much he enjoyed the underwear and how sexy they were on him. So,
Thanks.
yeah,
Yes, I enjoyed your money. Thank you very much.
So yeah,
As
so
long
this
as
is
they're
apparently this is another deep dark secret of eBay.
fetish stuff.
It's-
So you,
Yes,
did you
it's
get,
like
did you get those the messages? Hey, can I see with a photo on?
Yeah.
Right.
I have never gotten one of those.
Oh my God,
never
I've gotten
one.
so many of those. Like, hey, can you try those whatever on? I'm like, no, I'm not trying
Yeah.
anything on.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I've never gotten a message like that.
I've gotten a lot of those.
Yeah.
We're
It is
going
funny, some of the messages.
way off. Way
We
off.
could do a whole show on just messages.
Or of fetish items that you don't think are, but really are.
Yes.
Well,
That's the whole
apparently that ball is one of them. So that's good.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
I mean, think about it. It's a larger size, so there's more material. It's vintage. It's not opened yet. They made better quality vinyl back then versus the newer vinyl. It's really cheaply made.
Yeah,
That's
well, good for them.
exactly
Good
right.
for them.
So I don't care.
Happy
You want
for
to pay
them.
me $200-$300 for a beach ball? Hell yeah, I will sell you as many as I
Exactly.
have.
Good for them. That must be why the bigger ones sell for so much. Because like the one that's like the whale, it sells for like 400 or something. I think.
Yep.
That's wild.
It's
And that's
the amount of vinyl.
And that's
in it.
Intex, right, Dennis? Laura, Intex. Is
Yeah,
the
it's
brand?
Intex. Yeah, 1996 Intex.
And what'd you pay for that? $5, you said?
50 cents.
50 cents.
50 cents.
God.
Yeah, that's how I roll, guys. That's how I roll.
That's incredible. I've only
I know.
found one at a
I
yard
know.
sale, and
I've never
I
seen
look
one.
every
This
single
is,
yard.
I think this is the third one I found.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Good
and every
for you.
time I think it was $1
I
or
think
less.
we were just playing a game, weren't we? Let's get back to our game.
Oh gosh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah. This is a
Last
sell.
one.
Thanks, Laura, for getting us off topic.
The last one
That's all right.
for
Welcome to my world.
keep sell trash is you find an expensive piece of jewelry that is just your style.
So I thought in this game, Dennis, is that we had to choose one for each.
No.
No? All right.
I'll do that next time.
Yeah, because that's what I would broke it down that way. So expensive jewelry item. I don't wear jewelry, so I'm selling it.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. It's only going to go up in value, and if it's my style, I'm going to wear it, enjoy it, and I'm keeping it.
Love it.
Yep.
Yep.
If it's my style, let's say like I do a lot of like Irish stuff. I like crosses. If it's perfect for me, I'm probably going to wear it for a while. I'm going to keep it. I might even keep it forever. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I find so much stuff to flip. I get to keep a couple of things, right?
Right. Finding inventory isn't the problem. It's listing it. Right?
That's a good point. Yep, absolutely right.
Nice.
I know the viewers want to hear about our thoughts on the new Poshmark changes and all that.
I don't sell on Posh. So you guys go for it.
I've been selling, and this is Laura, this is gonna drive you nuts. I've been selling the crap out of sealed classical CDs. Just like
what?
This big
what?
Right here. To the tune of 7, 8, 9 a week. Classical
For how
CDs.
much?
Anywhere between $10 to $25, depending on what it is.
You've got to be kidding me. Classical CDs.
Yep. Sealed. They're all brand new.
And what's good?
Awesome.
And
Thank you for telling me that. You're going to have competition now.
And the good thing is
crazy.
that Dennis doesn't pay anything for his inventory. He gets most of that stuff for free. So
that was a clean out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, do you do clean outs?
Right there. Free king.
You're the free king. Okay.
Yep.
See, I don't know about it. Oh yeah, you're the free king flipper. Oh my gosh. I gotta do my research on you. I should have done that before I came on. Yeah.
After the show, I'll let you in on some of the crazy finds and just
okay. All right. Well,
It's
I'm
not
going to
very hard.
trivia when I'm done here. My trivia team's waiting for me.
Everyone everyone just has to get a business card. That's really how it starts. It's one of the best things you can do for your business.
Okay.
I was going to get into reselling tips, but do you want to do the Poshmark? You guys have any thoughts on that? Or
I mean, she doesn't sell on Poshmark. I can go over it real quick.
Yeah, please.
I'm more of a Poshmark guy seller than you guys are. I just think personally it's a bad idea. They're moving all of their updates to like how Mercari did it. You know, they're charging the buyer a hidden fee. It's a buyer protection fee. And then when a buyer buys something, they're not going to see that they're paying an extra $9 for a buyer protection fee. I mean, I think it's kind of shady what they're doing. And it's gonna hurt the sales overall, kind of like we did the Mercari. They lowered their fee from 20% for sellers down to a 6% fee.
Yeah.
But they're also adding a fee structure based on the value. I just don't think it's sustainable. I don't like the idea. I won't get into it too much, but I just think it's a bad look. I don't like it.
Yeah. So this was put out by a website called Retail Touch Points, and they said the social e-commerce business Poshmark has rolled out a new fee structure where the initial, what we used to do was 20% seller fee, is now going to go down to a 5.99 fee. And then they're going to add a $1, $2, or $3 fixed fee depending on what you sold. So if you sold an item under $15, it's a $1 fee. Between $15 and $50, it's a $2 fee. And anything over $50, you're going to pay a $3 fee. We've seen this with Mercari. I don't sell a Mercari anymore. I don't know. The platform's not for me. It's for me. It's eBay Poshmark. That's it. But I guess time will tell. I mean, if you're a consumer and you go on the site, I go over to Scott's page and I find a pair of jeans I want, and then I see all the fees that are attached to it.
Well, the thing is, Dennis, the buyers aren't seeing those fees. So when a buyer buys something, he's going to see he bought it for $20, and then he's paying $38.
Oh.
And they're like, "What the F is going on?" So it's not only and you click into the details, it'll tell you it's a buyer protection fee, which is just another money grab that they want to get off the buyers. I don't like it. I think it's going to kill the platform unless they change it. I think like Mercari did, they went back once too many complaints came in. I don't like it because Poshmark for me does pretty good for me. I mean, I had 18 sales over the weekend on Poshmark. Like that's pretty good. So I love Poshmark. So I don't like the updates at all. But
it's interesting to me that you would say that because it's lower fees for you, but more fees for the buyer.
It's lower fees for us, more for the buyer.
Right. So you think it's going to hurt sales so much? I think buyers will get used to it eventually. I think at first it'll hurt your sales, but I think eventually they'll get used to it because I think Poshmark buyers are so faithful that they're not going to go away.
I know. I'm going to
be pissed at first, but they will eventually.
We'll see how it plays out. But with anything, there's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, write it out. You'll,
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I know it's all over like TikTok and YouTube. Everyone's talking about it, but we won't beat it too much. We'll move on to the next one.
Dennis, have you ever heard of Toppling Brewery? They make pseudo stew beer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, it's like an hour from where I live. It's like an hour from where I live. I know, right? So you gotta come visit. We'll go thrifting. We'll go to Toppling. It'll be a thing. Yep.
Toppling Goliath, Scott.
Yes.
Used to be one of my go-tos. Oh, great stuff. Really good.
I'm not a beer drinker, but I love their graphics, and the brewery is great. It's huge. It's a really nice brewery.
We're not beer drinkers either.
No, I know you. You guys are crazy. I saw your pictures of you with your hops around your neck.
That was.
Did you sleep well that night?
We did. I tell you, we're in the reselling section of the show, and we're gonna mix beer and reselling real fast in like 2 or 3 sentences. We went to that show that you saw us wearing those necklaces. Yeah. It was the absolute hit of the show.
Yes.
And next year, I think we're going to try to sell some of them.
You should. Absolutely. I thought that was really clever. Yeah.
People
I didn't
were
realize
like,
you made those.
"What
I
is
didn't realize you guys were crafty.
Well,
What do we do it like an hour before that we left? We just
Yeah.
like cut them down.
It was fun. It was a good time. It kind of brought us out to like what we're venturing off to, and
Yeah.
what we're gonna, next year it's gonna be a blast. I can't wait.
Yeah. That was neat. That was neat.
So, well, while we were there, we were passing out our stickers. We were meeting brewers. We were meeting people in the industry. We were just trying to like promote this podcast as much as we possibly could. And I think it worked. I think we made some really awesome connections.
Yeah.
So I posed the question: how do you think?
Jeez, you all right over there?
Sorry.
How important is it to you?
Come on now.
You don't know what's in there. You don't.
True.
know.
True.
How important is it for you to make connections or relationships, or to kind of tell people that you're a reseller? Hey, do you have anything? You're getting rid of stuff, boxes, packing material, anything like that. How important is just making connections to you in your business?
It's key. It's key to growing your business. It's absolutely the key. I feel like telling people what you do and making those connections is the only thing that you never know who is going to be. Every single person I tell what I do, they're like, oh, I wish I had known you when I was cleaning up my mom's house. And now they're going to think of me when they have a friend who's cleaning out her mom's house. I'm in my 50s. So a lot of people my age are having that where they're cleaning out their parents' house. Yeah. So the more people my age I can tell what I do, the more they're going to be like, hey, Laura, will you come help me? And really, the first person to look at the stuff is the person who's going to get the best stuff always. So if you tell people what you do and they invite you in, that's better than any rummage sale, thrift store, estate sale, is just having that connection and you get in first. So yeah, I think it's key. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, the more people you tell, like Laura said, you get clean outs, parents pass away. Hey, instead of hiring a company, come take what you want, sell it. But I've also gotten pushback from people as well, saying, I don't want to give you stuff and sell it and you make money on it. I'd rather donate it to other places. So I've gotten both.
Some people are like that. They want to, and that's fine. Like, inventory is not hard to find. Okay. I live in an apartment building. There's people all the time. I hear them talking about, oh, I just donated a bunch of stuff. Even though they know what I do, they're donating their stuff. That's great. Like, they want to know that they donated it. You know what I mean? But those people that you do come across that are like, hey, you know what? I don't want to donate this. I know it's worth something. And I always tell them, well, this is, I try to get it for 30% or less than what I think I can sell it for. Yeah. And so I'm always very upfront with them. This is the most I can pay. This is what it's worth. And 9 times out of 10, they just don't want to give it away. You know what I mean? They know it's worth something, but they don't want to take the time to get the max amount. Those are your people that you want to connect with.
Yeah.
There's also people who I don't know, you'd probably come across these people too, where they want you to come in and tell you what everything's worth, but they don't want to sell you. Those people are fun.
Yeah, I had a lady here locally who she was an older lady, but she was a hoarder. I was going to her apartment and it was just like wall to wall, just bins.
It's hard to buy from a hoarder.
But here's the thing. In the beginning, it was great. She didn't know what I did originally. And then I'm going through and then I'm just cleaning up her apartment and just pulling a bunch of shit out. And then after the third or fourth time, we started getting comfortable. I told her what I do. And what does she do? She goes on her phone, looks everything up. And so instead of those jeans that are 25 cents, now she wants $3 for those items.
Yeah.
She wants more and more and more. And I'm like, listen, I'm helping you clean out your apartment. Number one, I can get these items for $1.30 at the bins.
At the bins, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't need your items, but I'm kind of helping you out. So that connection kind of faded away because she realized. She made a comment to me once. She goes, "Oh, I see you're always on vacation, and you're always here. You're always there." So it kind of, did I do it to myself? Probably. I kind of ruined that a little bit, but
sometimes being honest, it comes back to
it
but
hurt
yeah.
me. I haven't
But I would
heard from her.
rather be honest with them, and
Yeah,
you
she
know,
was,
if
I
I
mean, I
miss out
wasn't
on
gonna
a
lie to
sale,
her. I don't lie to
as well.
people, and she was an older lady, but I haven't heard from her in about a year now. So
I
she gave up on me.
had a lady who contacted me and wanted my help. You know, she wanted to sell stuff to me, is what she said. But then I got over there. She really just wanted me to tell her what everything was
Yeah.
worth. And then she was trying to get the highest dollar. I said, you know, you're not going to get that locally. You know, this is what I can pay you. She wouldn't sell it to me. And then she had a couple of like sales, like rummage sales, basically. And then in the end, she was just like constantly texting me, "Will you please come? Will you please come?" I said, "No, you know,
No.
it's pretty picked over at this point, and
Yeah.
I'm no longer interested." So yeah.
Dennis, what about you?
It
Have
happens.
you make any
You know,
connections?
I know I have a friend who runs an estate sale company, or an acquaintance, and he said, like 80% of the homes he walks into to bid on for an estate sale is a no.
Really?
They don't end up hiring him. Yeah. So that first initial visit, he said, is almost always a huge waste of his time.
Is it because they want top dollar? Is that why?
A lot of times, yeah, I think that is it. Because I actually told him about this lady who was like wanted me to come in and buy stuff,
Yeah.
but she really just wanted me to tell. He said that happens all the time. He said probably 80% of what I walk into, that's what it ends up being. It's terrible. Like they really just want to know what they have, but they
Right.
don't have. But then they just are like, well, we're just going to do it ourselves, you know. Which my favorite estate sales are the family ran estate sales.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
The best. When I
Yep.
see
Grab
family
a
ran estate
box.
sale, I'm like, I'm gonna be first in line. They always open, like, that's one of my things too. Like, go to a family ran estate sale 2 hours before they open. You can almost always get in early, almost every time, because they don't know the rules. They don't know that everybody's gonna be pissed that they let them in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do that, and they're like, I don't know, just grab a box. There's boxes over
they're
here.
like, oh, sure, come on in. There'll be people lined up outside, and I'll be inside shopping. And I'm like,
I'll be walking out by the time people are coming in, and I've already
exactly.
gotten all the vintage electronics, all the Walkmans.
Exactly.
I got a $300 Walkman last time I did that.
Oh my gosh, good for you.
One of the original Walkmans that could also record.
No, I didn't know they had those. Are you kidding?
I did a story on it on my Instagram.
Okay, see, this is me showing that I have not done my research on you guys yet. I will look into you.
So by the time I filled this box up for like $20, you know, they just want it gone. Versus an estate sale company wants to make as much as they can. That's the biggest.
Because they're only getting a percentage, so it makes sense.
Yep.
What I love about the family ran is that they'll have all this stuff priced super cheap, and then they'll be like, all their Crocs will be like $100 each. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They always have one thing that they're certain, you know, it'll be like the Beanie Babies, or, you know, just something that's just not worth anything.
Porcelain dolls.
Yes, like, exactly.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
the vintage electronics, they're like, we were going to throw them away.
Yes. Yep. Oh, nobody uses VCRs anymore. There's like 3 of them up there in the box. Take them. You can just get them
out of here. We don't know what to do with them. Yeah.
Okay. That's my jam. Like we had all these cassette tapes. Who listens to cassette? They're like those Maxell XL290s.
Oh my gosh. I have some listed right now that's sealed. I bought an entire box for like $20. I had making bank off of those things. Yeah.
Yep.
And they were all type 3 and type 4. There was very few ones in the box. It was a great buy.
Yep. That's those little known things that people at these estate sales walk right past, and I'm like, boom, yeah. You know, it's
what else I find a lot at estate sales is like the medical supplies, because the people that, you know what I mean, like the people that died in the home, they had like medical supplies. That Hollister, like the clothing company. Hollister makes like these medical things, and I'll buy just like cases of those sometimes at rummage sales, and just make a killing. Yeah.
I mean, you can't know everything about everything, but you should know a little bit about a lot.
About everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could
And
learn
that's research.
to learn something from everybody.
Yep.
Even a brand new
100%.
reseller knows something that you don't know.
Agreed.
I guarantee
Totally
it. Even
agree.
someone who's not a reseller knows something that's valuable that you don't know.
We had get trash or sell trash, get money.
Yep. Tara.
Last week on our show. Okay. She's an everything seller. Some of the stuff that she was finding and selling, I'm like, what? I was that guy walking past it at an estate sale,
Yeah.
at a yard sale.
I love learning new things. Yeah.
What was that thing she sold? She found a box of these
The
vintage,
Christmas
like
the ornaments.
Christmas-
So like the satin ornaments.
Oh,
but they were like
are they the ones that are like decorated?
Yeah,
Like,
and she
yeah.
spent like $200 for these ornaments.
okay, so I just recently learned that too, and I passed some up at a sale today because I was like, I gotta look into that more.
Yeah,
But the satin with the ones with the beads all over them, like people used to craft and make.
So,
Yeah, those are
Laura, if you're not
nuts.
following Tara, so sell trash, get money, give her a follow.
I am.
You probably do.
I probably do. It sounds familiar to me.
Crazy stuff.
And just reach out to her directly.
Yeah.
We were blown away. I'm like, I would have walked past that.
Oh God, yeah.
I would
I should
walk
be
past
following her.
all of that stuff. Looks like stuff that like my grandson were making preschool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's got it on her Insta.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I passed on a bunch of these today at a sale. And I was like, I think I heard that these are good. God, what an idiot.
I wouldn't even know how to describe it. Like I
used to make these with my mom. They're homemade. I used to make these with my mom.
They're just homemade satin.
Yeah, you took the satin ones and then you had like pins and beads. You could still make these today. I don't understand why they're a thing. That's always been my thing. Like I heard that they were good, but I was like, but you could still make them.
Yeah, but
why?
and then she said last week on her show that Amazon sells them, and she can get them from Amazon and flip them for multiple dollars. Like people love them. I don't know why.
Good for her.
It's a little niche.
God bless her.
Hopefully, we didn't kill her niche, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's let her have that one. Yeah.
She bought what did she pay? What did she say? $20 for a giant like Rubbermaid container full of them.
Oh my gosh, I love
She's been
that.
selling them off, but like hundreds of dollars at a time.
What did she call them? That was my thing. I didn't know how to look them up.
I don't know.
Just
you guys are not helpful at all.
No, just message her and just say you're friends with.
I will. You know what? Yeah. I know I've talked to her before.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. She's all over.
Yeah, she's great.
Speaking of crazy finds like that, I wanted to ask the panel, do you have anything that you've sold in the past that you're just like one of your best finds? It doesn't have to be money wise, just the coolest or most historical, or just something that you're like, wow, I can't believe I found this. And then whether you sold it or not is beyond the point. But is there something that comes to mind that's just like, wow, I found this?
So that should have been like back in 2013 when we were cleaning out my dad's estate. We were going through stuff, and my dad had to have clear garbage bags. And so we were just like throwing stuff in garbage bags that we thought was trash. And my sister-in-law had thrown this what looked like a little gauge, looked like a part to something. And she had thrown it in the garbage bag, and I grabbed it out of the garbage bag because my dad always used it as a paperweight on his desk. And I was like, you know what, that's too sentimental for me. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to take it home. That same day, I also grabbed, my dad did rally races. My dad was very old, and he did the rally races where you get the license plate and you go from point A to point B.
Oh, cool.
And I took his cardboard license plates that he had from his rally races home. And I was looking them up on eBay. And I happened to notice that gauge that I took home was in the rally racing. And I was like, what the heck? And I went, and I had actually given it to my kids to play with. And I was like, kids, where's that watch I gave you? Where's that thing I gave you? It was a Tag Heuer rally watch. And it was like something you like mounted to your dash. And they've actually taken a dive, but at the time it was worth $2,500.
Oh.
and we listed it, and it sold in like, I don't know, 3 days, something like that. And it didn't even work, right? Like it worked, but it was like, you could tell it was like a little wonky. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to get it fixed. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we almost threw it away.
Oh.
So that's probably like one of the most expensive things I've sold is only $2,500. So only.
That's crazy.
But the story is amazing.
I know, right? And that was back in 2013 before I really like did this for a living. That's kind of how I got started in eBay. Was my dad died, and we knew that in order to maximize, my dad was like a really interesting man, had a lot of really neat stuff, and we knew locally it wouldn't sell for much. So that's how I got started in eBay and learned how to like ship and list and take pictures and all that stuff. And then I just kind of did it as a hobby from that point up until 2020 or 2020, when I realized, hey, maybe I could do this for a living because I enjoy it so much. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Scott, you got anything?
So I had something in mind, but I switched up a little bit here. So when I first started reselling, I was kind of doing the same thing you were doing, Dennis, with like cleanouts, but we did it like on a consignment basis. Okay. So I did that for a while. We came across a bunch of these vintage beer signs. And in the beginning, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I listed these beer signs, and this one guy bought like 3 or 4 beer signs. I think I sold them for like 150, $200, right? Well, they ended up going to some beer museum in the Midwest. And like,
cool.
I don't know. Museum? Oh my God.
A beer museum. I don't know if it was in Wisconsin or Michigan.
That's painful. Probably in Wisconsin.
Somewhere out there in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, hey, I just sold these signs for great money. But the satisfying part is like they were going to an actual, like a good location.
Right.
I don't know if I undersold them.
Oh,
I probably did. But it was a good story. That was one of the stories like I enjoyed selling. Hey, these are all going to a good location and they're going to be on display. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah. I got to just interject here really quick. But when my dad passed away and we were cleaning on his estate, he was an Apple man his whole life. And we had an Apple computer in the live auction at his house. And a museum from California called to bid on it. My husband looked at me and he goes, I think we made a huge mistake. It sold for $200. And the guy that got it was local and he was ecstatic. It was it probably is worth $1 million today. We don't know. We don't like to think about it. We don't think about the Apple
you don't want to think about that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Apple people are like Disney people, Ray Dunn.
I never even occurred to me to list the Apple stuff online when my dad died. We did that all local, and one guy showed up and bought it all. He had he had like a small truck with a topper. It was full to the top. The whole truck was full of Apple stuff.
And now he lives.
Sick thinking about it.
He lives in the Virgin Islands right now, and he doesn't do anything.
Right. Probably goes, that little fucker. No, sorry.
I hope not.
Oh no,
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
Mine is mine's kind of weird. Mine comes back to a couple of the points we've already made. Okay, make connections. All right.
Yeah.
I'm in line at the post office dropping my stuff off, and this woman in front of me is having a conversation with the postal employee, and all of a sudden he looks over and he goes, "He can help you," and he points to me, and I'm like, what? And this woman says, "Hey, I'm trying to help a friend, and she's cleaning out this room in her house that she wants to rent."
Oh my gosh! And that the post office guy knew you. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I'm really good friends with my local post office. I'm there 3 days a week.
You have to be. You have to know them all. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's where I got.
Do you buy them Christmas gifts?
I give them a card with something in it every single year. Because they can't take over a certain amount of money.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that.
But my the postmaster gave me these today.
You're kidding. Oh my gosh.
We trade beers. That's the relationship I'm talking about. Okay. So he points me to this woman that's asking questions about having someone come over and help clean out this bedroom that this woman wants to rent out. I said, sure. When do you need the help? She's like, now? I'm like, okay,
let's go.
I will follow you over there. She knows exactly what I do. I buy and I resell. So there's no mystery on what I do. We get there and there's a whole bunch of junk. There's a bed. There's a shelf, there's a closet, there's a dresser. She goes, the furniture's staying, but that shelf in the back that takes up the length of the bedroom, I need it cleaned off, and we're gonna, try to get rid of the shelf. I said, okay. It's filled with vinyl. It's all records.
Oh,
And
gosh.
she says, what would you pay me for all these? And at the time, I'm like, it's not really my jam.
Right.
Let me see what you got here, because I'm not getting burnt on a whole bunch of opera show, like the stuff like that.
Country.
So I start going through, and this is where a poker face is really important, folks. Very important. Beatles, Grateful Dead.
Oh my God. Oh my
Doors,
God.
Pink Floyd, Zeppelin.
Oh my God.
Zeppelin. There's Moody Blues. There's Bob Dylan.
Oh my gosh.
Whole length. You're talking probably 8 feet.
And you're
long.
the only guy there. You're the only guy there.
Private pick. And I said, I really don't know a ton about it. It looks like you have approximately 400 vinyl albums here. And I said, the condition doesn't look great. And
that's the thing with albums.
Before I could finish, she goes, how about $50?
Perfect.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, fine. I take them down. This is how much I knew about vinyl. Load up my truck, bring them back, unload them in my basement, call a buddy of mine. I say, hey, do you know anybody that collects vinyl? I'm trying to unload like 400. It's all classic rock, all of it.
Right, and what you didn't even want. Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I know. I'm like, cool. Can I get his number? He goes, yeah, it's me. I'm like, what? I'm like, you collect vinyl? He goes, hell yeah, I'll be over there in 30 minutes. Okay. He comes over and he's looking. He's like, these are in really good condition. I'm like, really?
Really?
He goes, no, these are in great condition. He goes, I don't even know if some of these have been played. He goes, you also got a couple of the Grateful Dead albums that are like,
oh my gosh.
rare. You got the Zeppelin album that you can spin the wheel and all the jackets and all that stuff. You got the Who.
Wow.
He goes, would you do like 1,500? And
Oh
I'm like, yeah. And I'm laughing at him. I'm like, yeah, sure. Because I'm thinking like $300.
Yeah,
he goes, I can do.
That's what I was thinking. He's going to pay you $1 an album. Yeah.
He goes, I can give you 500 cash and 1,000 Venmo. Does that work? I'm like, dude,
that works.
Serious right now?
That works.
Yeah.
That works.
He goes, yeah. If you help me haul him back to my car, I'm like, sure. So his car is driving away like this, and I'm like sitting there going, throwing the money down, and my wife's like, what just happened? I'm like, I just turned $50 into 1,500. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I kind of fell into that. So let that be a lesson to you. Tell people what you do, make connections, make relationships, get a business card for God's sakes, go to whatever I think I got these on Vistaprint, but $20, get yourself a business card and just start handing that thing out. You can always say no. They can always come to you like, hey, do you do consignment? I'd like to get 70%. No, you can always say no. But if it pays off one time, the business cards are paid.
Exactly.
That's my closing argument. These things have paid for themselves over and over and over and over again. I still get phone calls from people. Hey, I have a whole bunch of stuff. Or like you said, father passed away, mother passed away. We're trying to clean out. Time is of an essence, right? They need someone to help out. They know that I'm not going to charge them for my labor or charge them to remove things.
Right.
I might even pay them for some stuff. That's gold for them because they know that I'm there in a second. We can go around the horn. I'm done. Just some closing thoughts. And like what do you have there, Scott?
Yeah. Great show. Thank you so much, Laura, for coming on. Just massive amount of information. Appreciate it. Just give us a follow, give us a thumbs up, tell your friends, tell your family.
Yep. All right, have me on again, guys. This was a lot of fun. You know, if anybody's out there that's thinking about starting reselling, my tip to anybody starting, I always say, sell what you already have in your house, and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make a ton of shipping mistakes, but worst case scenario, you're going to break even. So just keep going. Just keep trying.
Laura,
So-
do you want to quickly just drop your any social media stuff you have? Instagram,
Any
TikTok,
what?
social media, TikTok, Instagram.
Oh, how do I do that, guys?
What are your,
Like just say it?
like what are your
Driftless Thrifter. The Driftless Thrifter. I'm the Driftless Thrifter on TikTok, Instagram. I don't know. I don't really do a lot on TikTok anymore, but yeah, the
Okay.
Driftless Thrifter.
Cool.
Yep.
Dennis, you're
Yeah.
you're done?
Militaria expert. Militaria.
Not really.
She knew
I
exactly
will look
what
into
this
that
is.
though. I will look into that. Send me pictures. Send me pics.
Yeah, I'll get you a close up because the
Like
camera
close
couldn't
up.
get that.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Bye, guys.
Guys, thank you, and we'll see you next week. Laura, thanks again. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much for having me on. I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time.